again. We'll get started here in just a minute. Alrighty. Hope everyone's had a great weekend. Working on a slab plan here. What's up, Prof World? Thanks for stopping by. Everything's going well. Did I turn my music down? I did. Good. Should this be inside or outside? I think inside. Hey, thanks for that follow. Appreciate it. I'm assuming that was a follow. I can never tell. I should probably make different sounds for different things. Appreciate that. So I'm assuming that means that you're into architecture or design or something along that line. Or just anything on Twitch. So I think this is what I need right here for this. Yeah, I think that works. But I wonder if that'll be poured all as one. There'll be a slab here. Or oh, I bet your English is better than my whatever your primary language is. Either way, welcome to the stream, and feel free to ask questions. it's a decent sized house, yeah. It's not huge. It's definitely larger than average. Let's make this 31. Hey man, how's it going? Well, you did catch me. Right. Yeah, you want to drop them off? That's fine. Some time for a few minutes, or we can go. We can go grab some lunch or something like that. Yeah. Right. 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 Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, whatever you think would work, just let me know. We can work something out. Okay. Right. No, yeah. No, I know what you mean. I was going to ask, is that more a reflection on Evan or the coach? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking about that last night. I was just thinking about, are you a good coach because you have good players, or are you a good coach because you created good players? You know? Right. As a team, or you mean as a team, or like him at home, or both? Yeah. Yeah. Right. You still there? Sounds like I might have lost you there. Barely. Can you hear me now? All right. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Well, have you talked to Ed much recently? Yeah, with Brandon. I didn't realize who it was until I was talking to Ed the other day. It was the guy that was coaching the team that beat us in that tournament, right? The bigger guy. I thought it was no Brandon McComb. Yeah, in that last Highlanders Cup game that we played, where we got whooped up on, it was like 6-2 or something like that in the final. Was that not the same guy? Yeah, that not the same team, but that guy. Yeah. 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 Right. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was an option for you guys or not. Yeah. No, I don't. I don't doubt that. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's what Evan needs to ask him. Right. No, I understand. Yeah. Right. Okay. And that's fine. Yeah, and if you want to just let me know what works for you. I don't really have anything in my schedule right now. We can do it during the day or after. After work's going to be pretty tough. Maybe like Monday or Friday, or over the weekend. No, that would work. I think that would work out fine if you want to do that. Yeah. Okay. On Sunday. Yeah. Yeah. So Joel texted me and said, "Hey, every '06 is playing Saturday morning, either at 9 or 10:30." I was like, "Oh, well, maybe I'll check and see who else is playing." Turns out Gunner's playing. Gunner and TJ are playing at 10:30 at Titan also. So half of the '05s and all the '06s are playing at Titan at the same time on Saturday. And I was like, well, that's a pretty good opportunity right there. So then I started texting other people to see who else is playing. And since we don't have any games this weekend, I figured I'd just probably go spend some time and check out, see how everyone's doing. Is he at Union? I was gonna say, is he doing the tournament? WSA's got a tournament this weekend. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, you should. Right. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Just let me know. Alright. Talk to you later. Bye. Sorry about that. You pour the patio turn down slab to brick with ball flashing and set outside. Or it would take it. Yes, I do tend to multitask quite a bit. Missed one. that makes sense. Slope away from house. Break. What am I looking for? Oh, I don't know what the name of this family is called. Is there a way to get contour lines from topo surface with Dynamo so that I can do a mass in place extrusion? If I export site plan to CAD, it will just explode the contour lines. Black Rabbit, I'm not really sure what you're asking here. So is there a way to get the contour lines from the topo surface? I mean, it goes the other way. You're getting the topo surface from contour lines. You had to have a contour somewhere to get that topo surface from. Whatever you're using is that layout, what I think you would want to be using. Why can't I find this family? Hey Courtney, do you remember in the Cherney model, we had a family that showed that in elevated concrete, they were like step down, and have a circle. Yeah. Well, for like the, you know, when you got when there was like a step, like for around the showers, or there was a, not a detail, it was looking at the framing or the foundation plan, there was a symbol that we used that had a dog in it to show that there's a step down, like a half-inch step, and you know. Remember what I'm talking about? Did we have a name? Okay.
I remember having the same thing and I have to copy it from another project.
I'll have to open up the Churney project, I guess. Oh man. The joys of having a family library. You never know where anything is. I mean, there's really no point in having a library because the only guaranteed place you know it is in the last project you used it in. It's like the only guarantee. Where's that family? Well, what's the last project you used it in? Oh man.
Unfortunately. I'm trying to get
Just that? I'm just kidding. That's
I'm
fine.
not to look it up, but I've been trying to get my W2 last minute.
Yeah.
So I've been
I
trying
still
to
haven't
get
done
that
my
done.
math.
I would try to do.
Yeah. That's fine. Fine. Are you going to be out for the rest of the day? I guess it's 4:30, isn't it? Okay. Well, good luck. Drive safe. We'll be. I tried to convince Joanna that we'd go to a hockey game Friday too, but she reminded me we have Cub Scouts on.
Okay.
We're going tonight, but not Friday. Thanks. Oh, I do too. I'm sure the boys will love it. There goes Courtney. It's amazing how much louder those speakers are. Just that sound than when you have your phone running through it. What am I looking for? House. Churney. All right. It's called Step Detail. I found it in the Journey project. I I don't even know where it is. The firm name is Delineations Tulsa. Have a good one, Courtney. You still got plenty to do on that one, right? Alrighty. Nope. Had it right the first time. Courtney with a K. Said the man with Amanda name in Twitch chat. See, I don't know if they're gonna pour this all together or not. So here's man. I know it is. And I'm just giving you a hard time. Well, first of all, the way it's presented, right? In The Simpsons, it was spoken. Think. Really? You're surprised? I'm not surprised at all. But the funny thing is that they're mostly that way behind a wall. They think that they can get away with it because they're behind this digital wall. So my oldest son is 8, and he's started playing a game called Prodigy, which is a math game, math-based fantasy game where you answer math questions, and you answer the math questions correct to do combat, to fight things and win prizes. And he was playing the other day. He said, "Mommy, I got a friend request." And Joanna just goes, just click no. You do not accept any of those. Oh man. I wish I could move that away a little bit. Maybe my floor lines are a little too... a little too thick. And I use all the shortcuts. I can't even find the buttons sometimes. So yeah, if you ever see me do anything on the stream, and you're just like, what? And you want to know what I was doing, feel free to ask, because I use shortcuts for just about everything. There are very few things in Revit that I do not use the keyboard for. I feel like this is not going to be read properly. I don't know why this is so thick. Because there's a floor in there, that's why. Finally upgraded to 2018 just in time for the 2019 release, huh? Revit 2019 rep download. Is it up yet? Oh, recap is up. Looks like Revit is not up yet. Just AutoCAD, 3D Studio, Navis, Recap, and Inventor. Somebody was asking about Inventor the other day. Yep, every April is the new release. Why is this 5 3/4 and the other one's 5 1/2? This is going to be pretty tough. There's going to be a drop down here, but I think it's going to be more down here than it is up here. It's all sloping away. Otherwise we're going to have a... Let's see here, berries. You know what I really need? I need this to flip. That's what I need. I need to do this and need it to flip. Control. Put it on the bottom side. Try it again. Let's try it one more time. Create control. There we go. Let's load that back in. This is what I needed to do right here. That's what I want. You know, I was in a gas station one time when somebody stole a bunch of Red Bull. Apparently they're very valuable on the black market. Kind of like washing detergent. Actually, it's a funny story. Someone tried to steal a bunch of Red Bull. They came running by us, and didn't really know what was going on. But we heard someone came running by us. Someone said, "Hey, stop!" And it was just like at a Quick Trip convenience store, very small. Someone yelled, "Hey, stop! Stop!" And then we heard this really loud bang, and we looked around, and this guy was laying on the ground, and there was a bunch of Red Bull like kind of rolling away from him. Turns out that the police, this person had hit this convenience store several times recently, and the police were staking it out. And the Quick Trips, if you didn't know this, are equipped with mag locks, and the manager on duty at Quick Trip has a controller that they wear on their belt. It's like a garage door opener, and they hit that button and it locks all the doors instantly. So they saw this guy stealing, running towards the door, and they hit the mag locks. And so the guy was expecting to be able to push out the door, and he just went, just bounced right off of it. And the police came in and arrested him. And I mean, he was bloody. He hit that door with force. He was not expecting that, though, man. My buddy and I, we were just like, we bought our drinks and left, and it didn't really hit us what had happened until after we were driving out, and we were like, oh man. That's crazy. I think I need to do this. So I know a lot of times it looks like I'm just sitting here staring at a plan, but I'm actually thinking through what's the rest of the story that needs to be told here. And a lot of this is just kind of thinking through how it's going to be built. What information am I missing? I'm always missing information, but I try to minimize the amount of information that I'm missing when I do this. So a lot of the stuff that I'm missing right here is we're not doing the foundation, the engineering on this. So we LCD slab plan. This is going to be slab plan sketch to be ASK1. This is not going to be on the sheet list, and it's going to be part of set ASKs. So these are going to be issued as sketches that are not part of the contract set. And we're going to do that since we weren't contracted to do any engineering. And this is going to be for informational purposes only. So these are not part of the official contract documents that we'll be issuing for this house, as they're not required for permitting, and we're not doing the engineering. I don't want it to be part of anything that will be liable for in terms of how it's constructed. But first I have to remember what the crap I'm doing here. Lab plan, main house, duplicate with detailing, and this will be guest house. So here's what we're going to do. Also, if any of you work at Autodesk, this is the worst place to put grips. Put the grips on the corner so you can do multiple sides at once. I could do this resize in 2 clicks. All right, one right here, click, drag, done. But now I have to do it in 1, 2, 3, 4, which is ridiculous. I mean, that's like, you're doubling the effort for everything when it comes to cropping and resizing views. Alright, I don't want to reissue anything for this. So, let's see. I don't know why I zoomed so far out on that one. Oh man, what happened there? What? Thank you, sir. This has actually been a fun project to work on. This is actually my first fully custom designed house that I've worked on from beginning to end as mine that I can say. So I'm pretty excited to see this one get done and get built. Sheet. This is slab and guest house. And this will be on 4/4/2018. Let's make this consistent with each other, but not necessarily with the rest of the set. So, you gotta actually put views on sheets before you print them, don't you? I do want This is a really tough area here because if this all slopes here, it's going to pool right here. I do want to go ahead and put these stem walls in. I am a fan of the stem walls. Concrete. I do not have a 6-inch concrete wall. That seems a little weird. Duplicate. Concrete. 6 inches. 6 inches. Finished concrete, that's fine. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to let them sit 2 feet below, and they're going to sit at the top of the slab. And finish face exterior is fine. Oh my goodness. Go. There we go. There we go. Come on. Oh wait, am I on the wrong one? Oh, what happened? Was I wrong that whole time? I was. Oh, I'm really confused. Oops. That's not going to work very well. Alright, so what that did for us is there's no wall right here. That one goes away. It's just this one. This one right here. That's the only one I need. And then this one right here. So then what I do is I go in, I have a filter that I use. So what I want to do is I want to leave all the walls non-pochade. But all the walls that are this type right here, what's it? Override by filter. New filter. And we're going to call this concrete stem walls. Concrete walls. You make construction DWG from Revit, right? So when you make a model, do you build columns and beams also? I do. I'm going to assume that by DWG you mean the shorthand for drawing and not an actual DWG. Let me do this and I'll show you a section. That should not be in here anymore. Why is that in here? Manage links. Delete that. Filters. Add concrete walls. I need to edit this because I didn't actually walls. Filter by Family type, family name equals, type name equals concrete 6-inch. All right, so we're gonna have a filter here that allows us to do transparency 0 and projection surface color gray solid. Okay, so that should make boom. That's what I'm looking for. So you see I've got a poche now on the concrete stem walls. Okay, that didn't do what I wanted it to. Let's try it again. There we go. That's what I wanted it to do. That feels like it's not doing what I want it to. You too, Holly. Feel better. Rest up. I'm trimming something that's not supposed to be trimming. And it's not actually doing it, which is the problem. Now Revit's just messing with me. I don't know what it's doing. So when we make a beam, a wall will go up till bottom of the beam, and there will be another wall on top of the beam, right? Wall will go up till bottom of the beam, and there will be another wall on top of the beam. I mean, if that's the way the structural is doing it, then yeah. Why is this not understand? That's what I wanted to do, but Revit's just making it difficult, I guess. I want to do it. Okay. So let me make sure I understand what you're saying. Come on, computer. Computer. Hello, computer. Sketchbook. Sketchbook. There we go. So the way I understand it is that you're asking if, when you have a column, your column goes up, and we'll say that it's a wide flange column. Okay? And then you've got another beam. You've got a beam. And then you have another wall sitting on top. Is that what you're asking? I mean, typically you're also going to have, you know, like a floor structure of some sort, and then the wall sitting on top of that. I mean, you typically won't do a column beam column connection like that unless you're doing something a little bit different. You're going to have a floor system somewhere in between there. But is that basically what you're getting at there? Okay, so you're talking like an exterior. You're talking. By the way, I don't know which part of the world you're hailing from, but that also depends on the type of construction. Is it concrete construction, steel construction? But I think I know what you're talking about now, because I was just dealing with this the other day. This will be some kind of formed concrete. It'll be a deck or something. I don't know. Whatever. It'll all be concrete, right? You got a pan form right there, and another wall on top. And you're talking about from this direction, you're gonna plaster over this so that you don't see that. You're basically gonna have another layer on top. And what I was telling somebody earlier is that you need to consider that plaster layer in your model, right? So there's a couple ways that you can deal with it. One, you can model that plaster layer, or two, you can paint and join, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to open up a different instance of Revit here so that I can keep these separate, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. For some reason I can drag these guys, but it doesn't. Okay, well I guess I'm saving that. But do I have this basically right? If it's concrete, and then you'll have some kind of deck and form that basically stops. So you've got steel right there, or you'll form it. You'll do a board form. Is it concrete that you're dealing with? That was interesting. Okay, so I'm going to do this in 3D here. Let's see if I can find a concrete wall. We don't even work in concrete, so I've got to make a concrete wall. Let's see, I'm just going to do granite, duplicate, concrete, 8-inch. And we're going to make this 8-inch. I don't think concrete's a valid name, so I'm going to go find a concrete material. Okay. So I'm going to make a concrete wall here. Right, so this is what? 10 feet tall. And then I'm going to make another one from the 10-foot slab to, we'll say, 12 feet above that. I don't know. And just to make things easy, I'm going to click on that. So now I've got these two walls, right? I'll say this one ends a little bit below. And then I'm going to have a floor. I'm actually going to do this right here. Oh boy. No, I'm not. I could have made this a lot easier on myself, but it just doesn't seem right, I guess. Alright, and we're going to make this concrete floor. No, we're not. We're going to make a concrete floor. And we're just going to make concrete 12-inch. We'll say it's a really thick concrete. Okay, I'm going to make these the same material. Okay, and we'll say this is actually on the 10-foot plate level. Right. And just for simplicity's sake, I'm going to bring this up to here. Right, so we've got something like that right there. That's not technically accurate, but it's close enough for what you're asking, I think. So if I use the join tool, just join these guys, right, you can see that we still have the separation in section, but in elevation, those lines are gone, right? So it's, again, what that was is the join tool, which is this right here, join geometry, and like that, okay? The other option is, if you're going to have a plaster, right, so then you go and you make a plaster wall tape, duplicate. I'll just call this plaster finish. Oh, this is interesting. I wonder if this is going to pick up as a copyright. We'll see. So I'm just going to leave this as granite. I'm not going to worry about a material on this. But essentially what I'm going to do, it's very thin. It's just whatever the thickness of the wall is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish facing. I'm going to do finish face interior. We're going to say that it starts at top of slab and it goes up to 10-foot plate to 12 feet. And what I'm looking for here is, you see the dotted line, okay? Depending on where my cursor is, it's going to be on the inside or outside. I know that where I'm picking is going to be the interior finish face of this wall. So if I click out here, the center of the wall is going to be where the dotted line is. And there's my plaster wall right there. And you can see as I start to rotate, Revit has a hard time kind of dealing with the geometry. But if I zoom in, you can see it's a flat surface that sits right on top. And I can actually do a crop on this. There you go. So you can see that that's technically what it would look like, right? You've got 3 different pores with it sitting on top like that. So I think that's what you're asking. Hopefully that gives you an idea of a solution that you can use. You can see how poorly I drew that in the plan view there. Let's see, was that what you were asking? I used to make my columns and beams as one casework extrusion. Hey, if that's what gets the job done, you know. The one thing that you want to consider though is that depending on what you mean by columns, if you're actually doing like straight columns, let's turn off section box. So if you're doing real columns, oh man, there's no columns in this family. Alright, let's go with structural columns, and we'll go with concrete. I never saw an answer. Is it concrete that you're dealing with? Vertical columns, do height, top of slab to 10 foot. Hit. Top of slab to 10 foot height. Go. So I'm going to place a bunch of columns in here, okay? And these are actually, if I hover over them, structural columns, right? And if I go into schedules, view, schedules, graphical column schedule, did I miss something, or is this not set up right? Oh, there's no levels. There's no, I don't have any grids or anything. Well, that was poorly executed. Alright, let me try that again. So I'm gonna... By the way, if you use Dynamo, you can use it to create grids or columns at grids intersections, which is nice for when you keep moving things around. What was I looking for? Structure, column. I'm going to drop those right there, and then I'm going to copy this a few times. We'll just say 20, 25, 20. All right, and then graphical column schedules. So then you can see that it actually shows the columns there, right? And if I take these, I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see it's highlighting them in the schedule, right? And I'm going to copy those, and I'm going to paste that align to top of slab. Oh no, Oh, I pasted them in the wrong place. Control C, paste align to selected levels, 10-foot plate. There we go. You can see that it automatically adds this, right? So the graphical column schedule will update if you use actual columns. You cannot generate this automatically if you use casework. And vice versa. If you try to get a casework takeoff, then you're gonna pick up your columns also. So keep that in mind. There's nothing wrong with using how to make columns and beams. I mean, how do you make the families? There's families already loaded in Revit, so you should be able to place these. And then the beams, there's beams also. So if you hit beam, and if one's not loaded, you can hit yes to load. And then the under structural framing, in this case, concrete, rectangular beam is right there. And then you can literally just go in and use 3D snapping to draw your beams. So I think there might be maybe a language barrier here that we're not quite capturing in this conversation. So I'm not really sure if I'm covering what exactly you're trying to find out. And I have no problem with stumbling through language barriers to figure out what it is you're trying to learn how to do in Revit, and I'll gladly help if I've got the time to do that. But those should already be loaded with your Revit install, so you should be able to go to the library, do that. So again, file, or sorry, insert, load family, and then you should have an imperial library or metric library, sorry, with structural columns. No, that's fine, Black Rabbit. Let me ask, what region of the world are you joining us from? Because the libraries are different depending on where you are and what you downloaded. There's tons of different libraries. So you can see I've installed quite a few of them. There's a UK, there's an India library, right, which looks very similar, structural columns. I mean, there's all kinds of libraries. I think I have the Australia library, the UK library, US metric and imperial, and it looks like I have the India library also. You can join them. I mean, you can join just about anything in Revit. If it's the same material, the joints will disappear, and if it's a different material, then the joints will remain. Sorry, I'm reading through this. Alright, it's getting a little toasty here. I'm going to see if the air conditioning is right. Can you show me how you made plaster with wall? Yeah, so it was just a wall type. So it's just a wall type. Create a wall, and you just duplicate whatever the wall type is, call it plaster finish or whatever, and then you edit the structure, and then you put whatever you want in there. In this case, it's just a, and you have to put it within the core, but I should probably make it finish. Okay, but it's within the core, and then you can make this whatever material you want and give it a thickness, and that's it. You know, you could also do this if you wanted to be real fancy about it. So we're going to take these two walls, and we're going to create one called concrete 8-inch with plaster finish. Okay, and I'm going to edit this. I'm going to insert a finish layer on top. All right, and we're going to say this is 3/4 of an inch. Sorry, it's in inches and not in metric. That's just the way I roll. By the way, Amanda, are you still watching? Amanda, if you're watching, let me know. I've got another joke for you. Yeah, so let's see if there's a plaster material in here. There should be. Finishes, we'll just call it stucco. Right? And what I'm going to do is, so notice we've got just concrete walls here. I'm going to change this to section. I'm going to modify this so that we can take this layer and we can stretch it down. So all I've done is I'm going to unlock that bottom layer right there. Right? And you can do that with any of the layers, right? Any of the horizontal layers. So you can take it with the top and the bottom and things like that. And what that's going to do, I'm going to hit OK a couple times. So you can see now I've got the plaster finish. But you can see now I've got two arrows right here. You'll also see that my lines are a little bit messed up. That plaster finish should be outboard of the concrete now. So what I need to do here is I'm going to use the align tool, and hopefully I'm going to be able to do that right there. Uh-oh. That's not what I was hoping to do. Let's see if it'll let me bring this out. No, it keeps moving the floor out. Okay. So I'm going to align this there. I'm going to lock that so it stays in place. And now I'm going to align these guys. All right. So now you can see I've got that gap right there. Well, now what I can do is I can take this right here, this arrow right here, which is controlled by this base extension distance right here, right? And I can just drag that down to lock. Now, if I know that distance, which I know is 1 foot in this case, you can say base extension distance equals negative 1 foot, all right? And I've still got a seam there, but now I can join those for a nice seamless finish. And see, that's with 2 walls instead of 3. So if something were to change with the wall type, I could now just edit the wall type and it would modify all the walls of this type in the project. So that's another option there, which I think is a pretty sexy way to do it. It's pretty graceful. I think it's a good example of good modeling as well. So, and a good understanding of how the building is going together. So you can use that. That one's for free. Another way, okay, if you don't want to deal with a base extension, and you want to be a little less clever about it, is we can say that this goes up to 12 feet. All right. So now I've got one wall, right, and this concrete piece going through it. Well, what I can do is I'm actually going to, when I make this wall, I can pick walls. I'm going to say extend into core. I'm going to pick this wall. I'm going to make sure everything trims out okay. And I'm going to hit finish, and I'm going to get a note that says, would you like for the walls to go to the floor as low? And I'm going to hit no on that. And then there's another one that says the floor overlaps the highlighted walls. Would you like to join geometry and cut the overlapping volume out of walls? I'm going to hit yes. Okay, and then we can see that what happens is, is that I can't remember how to use this software. Okay, and I think I accidentally joined these. I'm going to unjoin that, and what I actually want to do is I want to cut. Can I not cut? Unjoin. Cut. I wonder if this is because it's sitting at a weird angle. Let's see if I can get this to, I want to rotate this so it's orthogonal. Let's see if this works now. Nope. I don't know, for some reason it's not letting me cut. Usually it'll let me just cut that, oh, what did I just do? Oh, I forgot you can do that. No, typically it'll let me cut out of there, so if I actually make this a different wall type, make that wall type there. That's really weird. If I join them, it'll do that, which is kind of what I'm trying to do. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to do. If you join them, it'll actually cut that material out. So if I join them and they're the same material, yep, it'll do the same thing. So now I've got that void right there where the floor cuts. So I know that was really quick, but I have to do it quick because I've got work to do also. But you can always go back and watch the streams on the YouTube channel, which is Creative Things. And the house or the slabs. I'm still trying to figure out like until you're on the back. This guy right here. Let's see. I really want to see this from here. I need this view right here. Shadows down, sun up. That's the way we like to... what? Yeah, not a problem, Black Rabbit. I'm happy to help. So I'm trying to figure out this cantilever right here. Somebody messaged me and I missed it. Yes, those are custom truss families. In fact, I'm not even sure they might be in place. They are actually not even families, they are walls with profiles that have been edited. I did not mean to do that. Missed a ring at 5:05. I bet it was Michael. Yep, it was Michael. Oh, poor Michael. I know, he's probably about to ask me what that cantilever is. About 7 feet. So to answer your question there, whoa. You can close that one. It's a wall. See, it is a wall. And the profile has been edited to look like that. So this would not show up on a schedule if I wanted to schedule how many trusses we had like that. I don't prefer doing it this way, but it was already available. So that's the way it was done. You can make trusses like that using the Revit families, though. Using the Revit truss family works just fine. I think that this is done. I'm going to put what just happened? There we go. Hello. 6-inch concrete stem wall at crochet. Those column pedestals, these guys right here, it's just, so I tend to model things the way they're going to be built, right? So this is going to be a rock wall built around the column. So that's what these are modeled as. They're modeled as rock walls. It looks like I used a wall that I already had, so it shows wood studs in there, but they wouldn't do wood studs. It'd probably be CMU or something like that. I'll probably fill it with the CMU and then build the rock up around it. No problem. Like I said, if it were bothersome, I wouldn't answer them. I have a feeling that we are going to modify this right here. I think this is going to come down and out. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and change that. This needs to align with this one. Maybe like that. Fine. Let's just make this a nice clean number here. Yeah, and the problem, I mean, so there's nothing wrong with using AutoCAD, but you have to wonder if they really care to understand how a building is built, because AutoCAD allows you to just draw lines. You can just draw lines. You have no understanding of how it's being built, and just draw lines. But when you're modeling it in Revit, I have to understand all these connections. You know, I have to understand how you go, how does this transition happen? How does this transition happen, right? You have to understand all these in order to make some kind of model that documents it properly in Revit. So I can't just BS the lines and hope that it works out okay. So like, I know I've got problems here, okay? I'm gonna have to have a cricket that comes down and joins all this so that I don't have flooding issues right here, right? And it shows it in Revit. A lot of, especially like the roof plan. Roof plan is always a problem with people who draw in AutoCAD because all they do is draw the lines. They don't understand how the slopes actually work. And they might think they do, but they can't come and verify it with a model and say, oh, this is not what I want that to look like. I need to change this. So that's what Revit really affords me to do. It's very valuable. I think man, come on. I'm just about done with this, except I need to, why is this highlighted floors overlap? Shouldn't overlap. Or do they overlap? Maybe because they touch? Oh, that's where they overlap right there. That's awesome. Kudos to you for doing that. Oh. I mean, so, and I say that because unless your thesis was on using Revit, then you were learning how to use Revit and the information that you needed in order to do your thesis at the same time, and that's pretty massive. So kudos to you. But I do need to. Is this wall jacked up? No, it's not. A lot of these walls are still slightly off axis, so it's been a problem. All right. So I'm going to head on out. I'll have to finish this up in the morning, which is fine. But let's go ahead and save this. And tomorrow I'll finish this up. And yeah. So appreciate you joining me today. And hopefully you learned something. It was fun, and you can join me again in the future. And we'll pick this up tomorrow. I don't think I have anything going on, so I'll pick it up tomorrow. And hope you can join me then. So thanks again for joining me. I don't understand. I don't know who these people are that are calling. It's all local numbers. Anyway, have a great evening. Talk to you soon.